This video is going to be a step-by-step guide on how you can make your first raw wave type beat. If you've never made a raw wave type beat before, and if you're a complete beginner, then this video is definitely going to be valuable to you. I'll take you through each step of my blueprint on how I made my first raw wave type beat. Mind you, this is about practice. This is about consistency. You have to keep doing it over and over again. That's the only way you're going to get better, and I stand on that. I always do believe in that principle. I ain't trying to waste your time. Let's get right to the video. Shit ugly as well, boy. First step is going to be choosing your BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute. It dictates how fast or how slow your beat is going to be. And you can set that up here where it says tempo. So for raw wave type beats, I would recommend anything above 145, I would say. Let's go for 160. You can also turn this on to see how fast it is. The next step is going to be sound selection. Sound selection is a very crucial part in music production because it's going to dictate how the whole beat is going to sound. For raw wave type beats, we usually go for something emotional. So we usually start off with a guitar or a piano, and then everything else revolves around that. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Kontakt. Now that we've already picked the sounds that we're going to use, the next step is going to be scale. I'm going to go to the piano roll. So I want to talk about two things, scales and chords. Scale is a group of notes that sound good together. Chords are notes that are played together that sound good together, but they belong in the same scale. So to give you an example, there's C minor, there's C major, C sharp minor, C sharp major, the list goes on. And then within those scales, there are a group of notes that are played together that sound good together. Let's say I picked the scale of A minor, right? It's all the white notes, by the way. So within the A minor scale, we have 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This right here is called an octave. B, C, D, E, F, and G. And it goes back to the A. In the scale, we have chords. Actually, you learned this from Busy Workspeed. Shout out Busy Workspeed. So you skip one note and then you put one note here. Skip one note, put another note there. So this right here is the A minor chord. Put one note here, skip one, put one note there, skip. So this is the scale. And these are the chords within that scale. The next step is going to be chord progression. Chord progression means how the song is going to progress, right? So I might go from the first chord to the fourth, back to the third, to the second. All right, so those are 4 chords. So that was the 1, 4, 3, 2 progression. Or I might go from the 7th to the 6th to the 4th to the 1. So that will be the 7, 6, 4, 1 progression. Now all we got to do is pick a chord progression that fits the style of Rod. So let's go for... So let's use these 3 chords. Goes back to the first one. So let's start by adding notes in between so that it can transition from one chord to the other. I'm just turning down the velocity, by the way. All I did was take this D down an octave. So this is the same as this. The only difference is we played this D down an octave. I just like the flavor it has, you know? So in order to make it thicker, I'm going to copy the bass notes down an octave. And I'm going to double it. And I'm going to lower the velocity. I'm going to press Alt-R. Maybe even take down the velocity manually, like this. Like this. The next thing you can do is press Alt-S, which is the strum tool. You can also manually move the notes, which makes it more realistic. I'm gonna turn it down. So for the bass guitar, I'm gonna copy the root notes of the piano. Select everything, Control C, contact, Control V, or you can just draw it in like this. For some reason, if your FL Studio looks like this and you're not seeing the other instruments chords and melodies, you can go here to View and make sure the Ghost channel is enabled. That way you can follow along. To keep yourself on track when you're making melodies, you can add a sampler. Go to the sampler and draw all the notes. Clone the piano, right-click, clone, and we're gonna add a counter melody. So now that we got everything out of the way, the next step is going to be the drums. My biggest tip when you're doing drums is to use good sounds, because later on in the mixing process, you won't have to do much. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drag in a hi-hat, kick. And the other tip I have is to make sure that you play the sample when you're dragging your drum sounds in, because this also has to do with sound selection, right? So you have to make sure that the drums you pick go well with the sample that you already have in your playlist. Last but not least, if you've never made drums before, the best thing you can do is start off with the hi-hats. All you gotta do is right-click and press fill each 2 steps. I feel like that is a good starting point. And then after you do your hi-hats, move on to the snare and pick these spots right here as a starting point. I just gotta copy and paste. Let's do the kick. I feel like the best place to learn where to position your drums is from beats. Don't listen to it as a consumer and really try to understand the headspace of where the producer was when they were placing the sounds. I feel like if you do that over and over again, then it becomes second nature. I feel like that's how most of us did it. When you're doing the 808, make sure you hit cut self. And this prevents notes from bleeding into each other. And all you have to worry about is the hole being at 100% and everything has to be at 0. Turn this off. This is what I like to do. And I like to turn up the EQ so it's more beefy. Copy the root notes, paste, pitch it up, turn it up all the way, and then maybe turn it down from here. And make sure it's quantized. And another huge tip I will give to all the beginner producers is make sure you're organized. Make sure you rename everything before you mix. Actually, the best thing to do is to rename as you add an instrument. So let's say I add another piano, and then it's good to rename as I go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix the beat. So now that I'm organized and everything is named properly, I'm going to go ahead and color, select everything, color selected, gradient. Me, I personally like everything black. And then I'm going to go ahead and send it to the mixer. So select everything, go to number 1, Control-Shift-L if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and select everything, Control, and dragging my mouse. And then while pressing Control, I'm going to press Shift and deselect the kick, the bass, and the 808. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to an empty mixer track, right click and press route to this track only. And the purpose of that is to add an EQ. For those of you wondering why I cut the lows is so that the 808, the bass guitar, and the kick can have more space to breathe easily, right? Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a reverb to the piano. I'm going to pan the counter melody to the right. Take the violin to the left. This knob right here is the stereo separation. So if I take it all the way to the left, it's gonna make it all the way stereo. But if I take it all the way to the right, it's gonna make it mono. So what mono means is it just brings everything to the middle. So I like to do that to the kick, the 808, the bass guitar, and the snare, so that they can be the main center of focus. So now that we got that out of the way, the last step is gonna be arrangement. I'm gonna go here, right click, split by channel. I'm going to drag everything to the playlist. As you can see here, I've been making music since like 2021, but really it's since 2020 because I had to switch my laptop. And to give you an example, this is one of my first beats I made on my laptop. Sounds like this. Anyways, it's not even in key, bro. So I went from that to this now.
But I'm not ashamed to admit that, oh Lord, help me forgive my soul. I'm not the same. I've been led astray, I admit that, oh Lord, help me, I'm on my own. Do you see my pain? I won't turn away from you anymore. Lord, help me forgive my soul. I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
And I want you to take this as motivation, because somebody without any musical background can actually go far with music, right? I don't come from a family of musicians. I never grew up playing an instrument seriously. All I ever had was like the love of music. I've always been listening to music since I was a kid, and I've always had a profound love for it. If there's one last thing we can take from this video, I would say please don't stop believing in yourself. It is discouraging, it is hard, but one thing I'm gonna promise you is if you keep going, you will see progress. And if you truly love music, you will keep going. And that should be your main goal, is to never let go of the love of the music, because that's what we're doing at the end of the day, is we're making music. Don't stop believing in yourself. I really appreciate you for watching the video. Yeah, thank you.
Hey Jen, keep your head up.
I never ever thought that I would be the person to help people.